So you guys start to get older,
Yeah.
and the crimes start getting more serious. You started doing bank robberies.
Oh yeah. I was uh I was on the route. That means looking for robberies on the route with two other fellows. One guy's name was Richard Gorman, and the other guy's name was Paulie Shiro. Both of them were legitimate guys until I turned them into criminals. At this particular time in life, Tony was already worked his way up to the Cicero crew, and the guy he was stealing his name was James Tortorella. We call him Turk. He was highly connected to Joey Ayupa. I knew this, but I didn't socialize with Tony at this particular time. So the the three of us used to go out sticking up taverns. All right, we drop down, we run in a tavern, and we stick them up, and we run out. One time we had a shootout, and it was a very very bad shootout. As a matter of fact, one of the guys got his hair parted down the center from one of the bullets when he got in the car. The people come running out of the saloon shooting at us, and they were shooting back. And as we're driving down the street, we got away, and we're driving in near Tony's house, Splacho's house, and we had the cops were on us back there. So the two guys in the back, or one guy in the back, jumped out, hung out the window, and shot at the cops, and knocked. I guess they hit the windshield and they hit a pole. So we got away. So Tony seen us go by his house. He was parked in front of his house. The next day, he come looking for me after we got rid of the guns in the car. He said, "I know that was you." I says, "Yeah." He said, "What did you just do?" And we told him. He said, "Are you crazy?" He said, "I'm going to show you. Easy way to make money." He says, "I could go with you, or you got to cut some into the bosses." He says, "The bank route." It's the bank route. Say, I ain't got to run around sticking up banks now. He said, "It's not like you're hearing." He says, "We get bank messengers." He says, "I'll show you." So a couple of days later, him and I went to a few banks, and he showed me what the people used to do. They go in the bank. He says, "Get in line, get yourself, bring in some change. Have the lady at the teller put them in wrappers for you. This way you could see who's in line with you, how much they're taking out." So I done that. And I just happened to see a guy pull 10,000. And I come out, I said, I counted the wrappers. Each stack of money's got a money wrapper on it. Tells you the denomination. I said, "There was 10,000 there." He said, "How did he look?" I says, "He was wearing this, that, the color, clothes." He said, "I seen him." He said, "The chances are that guy's going to do the same thing next week." The following week, he didn't go back with me. I went back with the other two guys I mentioned. Lo and behold, there was that same guy, same time. I told him what to look for. The guy's outside. Then when the guy walked out, I said, he had different clothes on, and I give his description facial. And they said, "Yeah, he went this way." So we did it again. The next time he came out, they were aware who it was, and they followed him to the car. We followed him. They followed him to the car. And then we jumped in the car and we followed him to his place, the business. People are creatures of habit. They're going to do the same thing over and over again. They're comfortable with it. So the fourth or fifth time he done it, we robbed him. Right in the back in the alley by his store, place of business where he took the money in. So we did about 4 or 5 of them. And then I said, "We got to get out of here. They're going to put a trap. Eventually the cops are going to get on this shit." I said, "So we need to get out, do it somewhere else." We decided to go to Wisconsin. And we did. And as luck would have it, the first guy I seen had 20,000. We got him a week later because he was going to do the same thing. We got him, yeah, maybe a week and a week, 2 weeks later. It's just a long ride to go out there and come back. That's the only scary part about it, touchy part. So then we decided to do a back in the city again, downtown. But this guy used to walk the loop downtown Chicago. And it's pretty hard with a lot of people all around you. Well, my partner, Dickie Garment, says, "Not a problem. We'll handle this guy. I'll handle him. You get on one side of him, I'll get on the other." Guy come out of the bank, he's walking, we're walking, boom, puts the gun on his side, we take the money. Scare him half to death, the guy don't scream, we get away. And there was, I don't know if you want to keep on going on with this shit, because I could go on forever. You want to go on with it?
I mean, you can finish the story, yeah.
All right, then another one was, we went to lay on a guy in Oak Park, Illinois. But every time we went there, we'd have to meet underneath a viaduct. You know what a viaduct is? The streets go over it. It's like a tunnel that goes under a street. And sometimes they flood, and they call them viaducts, all right? So every time you go, the guy would be walking this way, and, you know, he'd look at you like sort of funny, like he was scared. He had him. At this particular time, he had 6,000. So we started to walk. We're just laying on the guy now. We had the car parked, a legitimate car, a block away in an alley. So we're walking. The guy looks, he throws the bag of money at me. He thought he was going to get robbed, and he runs. So Vicky Garman and myself, we look at each other, we grab the bag, we run. Back to the car. We jump in the car in the alley, about a half a block away. We didn't have no license. We had legitimate license plates on it. It was a Lincoln, big Lincoln, new legitimate car. We pull out the alley. When we got to the other end of the alley, there was 4 guys with blue shirts. They belonged to the fire department. So evidently this guy seen somebody and says somebody robbed him. We weren't there to rob him, but it's too late now. We went around that car. They chased us. We got away. But the cops got the plate through these people, partial plate. And then it started. Then my life. I got to be known. And that was one of my first arrests. And it was by a cop by the name of Frank Pape, known to kill burglars, armed robbers. It was a detective. He ran the robbery unit at 5th and State downtown. He was a feared policeman. And I got arrested on the street one night. I had a Cadillac convertible. The only one that used to drive around in these cars. They used to get mad at me, the outfit. And I got pulled over by a guy by the name of Mike Gargano and this cop named Durso. Durso was a cop. He worked for Pape and the robbery crew. Gargano was his friend, a buddy. They hung together. I didn't know at the time these 2 cops were muscling drug dealers. All right? And they were ripping their money off. They were crooked cops. One of them was. Gargano was just his buddy. As a matter of fact, they both went to jail because they killed one of the drug dealers. His name was Lover or something like that. I know the kid. I didn't deal with him, but I knew him. I was locked up with him. And they arrested me. And they got me in the car, and they're sort of rough guys, you know. And I'm just smirking at them. What do you got on me? They brought me to 11th and State. I was beaten up in this room. They handcuffed me in a chair. They used phone books on my head. They kicked me in the chair over. I was handcuffed in back of me. They wanted me to talk. I wouldn't talk. Then who comes in the room? Frank Pape. And he starts on me. So you think you're a tough guy? And I said, no. And he said, who's talking to you? And boom, and he hits me in the head. He showed his MFR out of the window. I think, is this guy serious? But before they do it, I said, use them things on him. I don't know what he's talking about. Cattle prongs. It's a big rod. I don't know what the hell it was. I'm in the chair like this. Boom, they give me the shock in the side in my inner thigh. Knocked me in the chair over. You know, I'm not showing him that it hurts. You know, you got to show you're a tough guy, right? So he's laughing. He goes out of the room. Throw him out the window. They bring me to the window, but I'm handcuffed in back. And I'm thinking, they're not going to throw me out this window. I got cuffs on. If they take these cuffs off, I'm gone. I'm dead. I'm on the 11th floor. They didn't take them out. They hung me partially out the window. And it's a scary thing, right? So I just looked down and I looked at all the little people walking around down there. And I thought, any minute I'm going. Hopefully they don't take these cuffs off. Then they pull me back on. They give me a few more slaps, hits in the face. Walked out of the room. About a half hour later, they bring me into the room where Frank Pape is. He says, your father's name was Joe Cullotta, wasn't he? And I looked at him. I said, yeah. He says, you'll never be the man your father was, although you did a good job today. He says, I'm going to let you go. You talk to these two guys that brought you in. Make a deal with them. Your car will be parked in the garage in the building. They had a garage parking. So the two, Durso, he leaves. Gargano brings me to my car. He want 3,600. I tell you, it was 6,000 in the bag. He says, we'll meet you on Fullerton and Narragansett tomorrow. And I'll bring you to your car. And that's what happened. I met him the following day. I give him the 3,600. Then I had the reputation as paying off the cops. They were like bloodsuckers. They come from everywhere. They see you on the street, they pull you over. $50, $100. $50 back then is a lot of money. $100 is a lot of money. Constantly. They never bothered me if I was with a broad, a girl, a lady. Never bothered me. At least they give you that much respect. So they start doing it to me. Not only me, a bunch of other guys too.